Professor Quinn, I want to first of all welcome you to our committee today and thank you for your presentation. I also want to congratulate you on your appointment as UN rapporteur and to wish you luck going forward. You know, it's a very, very important role. Just as you have pointed out, that our committee have a very important role here, and I think from the number of meetings we've had already that we are very determined in this committee to work cohesively together to progress the implementation of the UNCRPD. But we want to do it in a focused way, and we want to do it that we are engaging with all of the key personnel, such as yourself and other committees that we've had in, including our ministers and other people we'll be working with in the near future. So just to ask you, Professor, I mean, what would you see as the key aspects that we need to reflect in our terms of reference, because that's something that we're working on at the moment and want to finalise by the end of December. And also, I mean, we are one of the first parliaments to set up a committee to monitor this, as you said, but what would you see as maybe impacting the implementation of the UNCRPD and what's impacting its progress at the moment, or are there lessons to be learned from other countries or any other international best practice? Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, fantastic set of questions. Pauline, with respect to yours in terms of reference, I would suggest you go back and have a look at the Interparliamentary Union report on the role of parliaments. And there are 2 or 3 other parliaments in the world that are very active, including the New Zealand Parliament. And indeed, the European Parliament has an intergroup on disability itself. Okay, it doesn't match exactly onto what a national parliament does, but nevertheless, it'd be worthwhile having conversations with colleagues in those settings to get their view. My sense of it is, having watched your previous proceedings, that Ireland had been doing pretty well. We'd got a lot of law in the books. It's not been commenced. For whatever reason, it's been held back. So one of your initial jobs of work will be to not just to expose that has happened, but to ask why and to ask the deeper questions about what are the inhibiting factors holding this back, because then it'll be for you to make a judgment whether there's been sufficient progressive realisation of the rights in Ireland. The UN committee can make that from afar, but it's much, much better that you make it in Dublin and then put your finger on what systemic changes are needed to actually unleash the process of change. So I think, whether you like it or not, probably one of your first jobs of work would be to try and figure out what's going on, why are these things being held up, and is there a way that we can actually fix them?